Hello, here is Gerald. I will show you two new features in VWD. The first one is new transfer from VWD to Daz Studio. Currently, I use the direct transfer communication between Daz Studio and VWD, but it is possible to use this new transfer method with the bridge too. I start VWD. I import. I can remove the spring reduction for the skirt, for the dress. I import the collision object, Genesis 3, with a very small animation. I import the skirt. I close. As close, I will use a method which works very fine for dynamic close. W skirt is quite a dynamic close. I import the close. Okay. Now I will apply a rigidification on the top. I remove the bottom, the vertices, the selected vertices at the bottom of the dress. I will use an extension and I apply an L2 collision. Now all is ready for the simulation and I can run the simulation, the dynamic simulation. There are no self-collisions, but it is not useful for the test. Okay, you can see the simulation. Now you can transfer this simulation to the host. So I pressed. The transfer is not made using morphs directly, but it uses files recorded in the folder named Daz Animations. And to run these files, you have to execute a script. This script is also in the same folder, in the same directory, but you have to execute simply this script. You import the script and you execute it. You can return in the viewport and you can run the simulation. Okay. I can stop and return to the beginning. Now I want to make the simulation for the air. I run VWD. I can import the collision object. I will use the spring reduction, so I state the status of the. And now I want to import sunny air as air. I will use the method I already used in another tutorial, using a stiffness at the base of the air, and then use a very soft stiffness by neighborhood to keep the strength with a small link between them. I apply the importation. Okay. Now I will use the selection for Genesis 3. I will show the air vertices. It is correct, and I can apply directly the nail to collisions. Okay, now if I don't create an extended stiffening, the air will move too much. So I have to use two methods of stiffening. One for the bottom of the air, one for all the air except the bottom, to keep the shape of the strands. I will select the bottom, and I will apply rigidification by neighborhood with the reference distance for the air, very hard stiffening, and I will use very small distance between the two limits, the high limit and the low limit. I run the rigidification. Okay. It is necessary to remember that all this operation takes times, and it is necessary to make all this. Before it was necessary to make all this action to execute a simulation. Now, in the future version, new version, it is possible to execute this importation very faster. Now I have to apply the rigidification on the strands, so I will apply very high count on very high stiffness. Okay. Now all is ready for the simulation. I don't use the double stick because there are more than 2 million springs, and I can run the simulation. Simulation takes sometimes there are 4 million springs, and it is very useful to have the GPU computing to accelerate the simulation. In the second part of the tutorial, I will show how to fully accelerate all the parts of the simulation. Showing it is sometimes not necessary to use fast animation if the movement of the collision object are not not too fast. And this can accelerate, but sometimes this generates breakthrough. Okay, simulation runs correctly. Okay, I suppose the time necessary for the recording of the screen takes a little bit of time itself. Okay, simulation is almost finished. Okay, here is the simulation. Now we can send the animation to the host. You can see the speed necessary for this transfer. It is important to remember Sunnier with almost 200,000 vertices for 50 frames. Takes about 15 minutes. Here it is really faster. But in this method, I use compressed file, compressed GZ file. This compression takes a bit of time too. Okay, now we can open the script. I can stop the current script. I can open the script for Sunny Air, and I can execute the script, return to the viewport, and I can play the animation. You can see that the air, the animation simulation of the air are played, but not the breath. I will keep the transfer. The animation is not very fast because currently the transfer is made using text file. But I made some tests on when you want to make a render. It is not really important because this increase the time, but not too much. I return to the beginning. Now I want to apply the two simulations in the same scene. So I have to return to the script. I will select the part concerning Sunny Air. I go to the connection. I press Ctrl T. I go to the first script with W skirt. I import the part concerning Sunny Air, and now I have to stop the script, and I execute the new script. I return to the viewport, and then I can play the two simulations. The simulations the transfer of each file is not very fast, but as I said, already said, this transfer for a render is not very important, because you will take 1 second more for each frame. In general, a render takes each render for a simulation takes several seconds by frame, so it is not very important. Okay, I stop the play and I return to the beginning. Now I will show you how to make this simulation faster. I will go to the folder I use for the simulations for VWD. I will remove this Daz animation folder. I return to Daz Studio, and I will redo the simulation using the method I told you. I can import the collision object. You can see simulation. Now I can use the direct spring importation. I don't need the collisions because it is already in the scene, and I will make the first importation for the dress. I will use WScout. The springs are imported directly. Okay. Now I can use the simulation. I will use remove the fast animation to accelerate the tutorial too, and show it is possible to use it, to create a simulation without this setting. And I start the simulation. Okay. Now I want to transfer the simulation very fastly, so I press the Control and the Alt key, and I will press on the Send Animation to Host. The importation is very fast. I will, to reduce the time of the tutorial, I will made the simulation directly for the air, for sunny air. So I will import the collision object with its animation. So I will press on the direct springs, no collision, and I will import sunny air. I tap SU, sunny air, and you will see the time necessary to import the sunny air settings for a new animation. This will be very fast compared to the first time. Okay, well, it's ready. Okay, the sunny air are ready for simulation. So now I will use, I will remove the fast animation, and this will accelerate the simulation. and I press the Start Dynamic Simulation. You can see the simulation is very fast. If the character had very fast movement, this method will not work correctly. But in this animation, it is this method is perfect too. Okay, you can see the animation is very fast, and it is the same, right? The same. Okay. Now I will press Escape, and I will transfer this animation simulation to Daz Studio. I will press the Control and Alt key, and I press Send Animation to Host. You can see the speed. It is necessary to remember this action takes 15 minutes with the bridge. Okay, all is ready. Now we can do exactly the same thing at in the first part of the tutorial. I will remove the scripts because the scripts are not exactly the same, because they are not composition. I can open the script, so here I can open the script W-skirt, and I can select the W-skirt part. I copy it, and excuse me, at the end of the connection, I press the Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V for modify the script. I have the study part. I have here the connection. Here I have the W-skirt part with the connection, and I can execute the script. And I can go to the viewport to execute it. The script takes times because it is necessary to read the text file, but I want to work on no, here's Flash. I want to work with SDK to have transfer in binary mode. This will accelerate the simulation in the two direction. Okay, I hope my explanation will be useful. Have a good day. Bye.